Welcome to our instructional video on the utilization of the story map structured exercises and how to use the story map interface by ArcGIS Online. At the end of this video, you will know how to use all the various functions for the story map interface, and we'll have some tips of how to better utilize this instructional tool in working with your students, and also having your students to understand all the different functions. When your school subscribes to the story map structured exercises, the first thing we are going to do is we are going to set up a gallery, which is an index of maps. And when we do that, we will provide your school with the website address to get there directly. However, we will also provide or create a specific tag within ArcGIS Online to be able to get to that gallery for your school without having the exact website address. What you see here is an image of the main screen of ArcGIS Online when you go to that website, and the website address is arcgis.com. So that would be www.arcgis.com. And when you get to this particular screen of where it will take you to get to go to the path to get to your school's gallery, is you first going to hit the gallery, which you see there circled in black. So let's click on that, and then we'll see where we go from there. So what you are looking at in this particular image is the gallery page of ArcGIS Online, and what this page does, it shows you featured maps from the ArcGIS Online or the Esri Living Atlas, but it also provides you the opportunity to do a search by topic or tags for maps that people have shared to be included in the gallery. The gallery that we create for your school site is actually considered or is structured as a web application map, so it can be accessed through the gallery. So where I've got circled in black is where you would type in the tag, and this might be a way is you may want to have your students, if you do not have an internal communication system, to provide a direct link to the URL for your students. You also may want to explore of topics of interest to see what maps are out there to use for other instructional topics besides what our maps are. So let's go on to the next image that will show you what a gallery looks like and how then to get to specific lessons. So in this image, you go to a page where we've done a search for a particular gallery, which was the gallery that we used for our spring 2017 conference presentation in Sacramento. So when you put in the tag for your school, you should get only one entry, as we have here. And what you're going to want to do to get then to your school's entry is then to click on the map, as I've got circled in black, and we'll do that and show you then what a full gallery looks like. So now you've got here an image from that spring 2017 Sacramento conference presentation gallery. And you can see here you've got multiple maps. And the maps, when we set up the gallery, we put them in alphabetical order. And so that if you are having your students go to the tag gallery to find their map that they go to, then you're looking as far as alphabetical order. It's the same structure. Again, I have circled in black that you click on the map here, and this is for the 1790 United States population information, and it gives there on the side of the map a summary of what the map is about. So let's go on, and now we can go on and looking at a story map that we will be using to demonstrate how to use the lesson. So to demonstrate how to use this interface, we're going to use the lesson Divided Nation, the Civil War. And this particular story map template is called a tools template, and just about all the exercises that we have created use this particular template. And the tools that your students are going to be using to do this lesson are above the map area on the upper right side, which I have circled in black. Because of the structure of ArcGIS Online, when we build the maps as a web map and then convert them into a story map, we have all the layers on. So typically the first instruction that the kids are going to get is to go to turn off all the layers except a particular layer. And to do that, you can see circled in green is the layers the layers tab. So let's hit that and show you what happens to be able to turn layers on and off. One of the really great things about digital or web mapping versus using atlases or paper maps is that a lot of kids, they're stagnant. A lot of kids may get overwhelmed with too much information that see at one time and be able to filter. So with the digital and web mapping system, or the story maps, is that you're able to turn layers on and off and to be able to focus on a particular thing. So you see here that when you click on the layers tab, you get a drop down box. And the first thing we want to look at is how to turn the layers on and off. So you see circled in black is where you've got the check box, and that's where you turn your layers on and off. So so that's basically is when a layer is turned off, you get the check. When the layer is turned on, you'll get a check there, and then when you click on it and the check is taken off, then the layer is turned off. Another thing to note is as you turn layers on and off, they will appear and disappear in the legend area on the left side of the map. So again, it provides less confusion for the students of being able to keep track of the meaning and interpretation of different symbols. Now you will see there where I circled in green is that side arrow, and that gives you the option of to change the transparency or the opacity of a particular layer. So if you look down under the battles of 1862, you can see to change that transparency or the opacity, I've got circled in red, and you want to click on that and you will get a slide bar to change the transparency. So let's take a look at what that looks like to change the transparency as far as on a particular layer. So in this image, I've got here circled in black that slide bar that allows you to change the opacity or the transparency. So 100 is when you've got a layer that is fully opaque, which is also not transparent, and you can slide it down all the way to 0, which makes the layer fully transparent, and points in between. And there are some lessons that have the kids move that slide bar, or it's something that you may want to advise them to do on their own. So that's how, as far as checking layers on and off and changing the transparency. ArcGIS Online provides several base maps that can be used. And the tools template allows students and individuals to change the base maps of what they are as far as the map image they are looking at. And we've taken advantage of that as far as on lessons to be able to, on certain things, have students change the base maps to look at the ground or as far as features in a different way. Typically, we may have them switch from the general topograph to the general base map to a imagery or one that better shows terrain. Again, this is a feature with digital in web mapping, which again allows the students to be able to focus as far as one place rather than trying to flip through different stagnant books and type things. And basically to change the base map, they just click on the base map that is called for or that they desire to utilize. So that's basically how to use the base map button and to change base maps. In the process of creating web maps and story maps, ArcGIS Online provides the function to allow you to zoom into a particular area of the map and save it with easy access. This is called a bookmark. And on the ArcGIS Online menu, I've got, as far as there on the interface, I've got circled in black the tab that you hit as far as on the bookmark. And this particular map has 3 different book maps where it zooms into. And I've got circled in red the Civil War battles. So let's click on that and show you as far as what zooming in on a bookmark looks like. So now we have here the image of the area that we've zoomed into for the Civil War battles of that were in the bookmark. Now, if you want to quickly return to the original view, I've got there circled in black the home button, and that's the button you push to get back to the original view. The final tab that we are going to look at explain is using the measure tool. So when you click on that, you get a drop-down menu that you've got 3 options of things that you can measure within the ArcGIS Online interface. You can measure area, length, or the location as far as latitude and longitude as either degrees decimal or degrees minutes and seconds. And I have circled there in green as the various options. And let's take a look as far as on one of those, as far as measuring on length and the different things in the interface. In this image, I have clicked on the bookmark for the capitals, which shows the Union capital, or the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., and the Confederate capital of Richmond, Virginia. And what we're looking to do is to determine the distance in miles. So I have clicked on the length option, and then I've got there circled in black. I've set the units to miles. And then what I did is I started in Washington, D.C., as far as the area circled in green on the map, and then pulled and drew the line down to Richmond, Virginia, and then clicked, and then that length got locked and set where I've got it circled there in red. So that gives you a quick idea of how to use that measure tool there for length, and the same applies for finding area. So you can adjust your units from the menu. One of the things I really like about using web mapping tools is the ability to create pop-ups and have different information and provide links for particular symbols which are on the map. And right here in this image, I have brought up as an example, as I have hit Gettysburg, and you can see the information that is the data behind just the symbol. Now I have circled in black that little arrow because sometimes that you'll have multiple pop-ups at a particular location, and if you have that arrow, you may need to push on that arrow to get to the different pop-ups for the information that you are using. You will notice there in the pop-up that you've got down there, you've got a link to more information. One of the things that we have done with a lot of our story map exercises, particularly for grades 5 through 8, is more in-depth links to Wikipedia and sometimes other websites or YouTube videos. But even though a lot of people frown on it, I like using Wikipedia because, one, it's something that at that age level, the kids are very comfortable with as far as on looking at. And part of why we do this is to encourage reluctant readers to become more independent and to explore. Another advantage of using Wikipedia is for those of you in schools with large numbers of English language learners, if you've got students who are more comfortable comprehending in their native language, the Wikipedia page does provide the option of many different languages that it can be turned to, so that students who are still grappling of comprehension in English language, to encourage them is that they can go and change the page to another language. So those are the functions that are within the Story Map Tools template page. So let's go on and let's talk about a couple other things dealing with our Story Map Structured Exercises program. So let's talk a little bit about the student exercise sheet. Our sheet and our exercises are designed that the students work on these individually. That does not preclude you of doing this as a whole class, of projecting the maps and going through the instructions with the whole class. But as far as our conversations with teachers with the use of technology, in many respects, if they've got the computer capacity, they much prefer having the students working as far as individually. The student exercise sheet provides the instructions and the questions, and those sheets, when your school does take out a subscription, we do provide a hard copy of all the exercises for the grade levels of your school, and we also provide a couple of the CDRs, which then those CDRs contain the files in PDF format. Now, if your school desires to have the formats that you could edit and make changes, we can also provide you with the exercises on the CDR in Word format. One of the things that you will find in a lot of the questions we ask is that they are open-ended questions, that we're looking to encourage speculation as far as on the part of the students. As part of that, one of the things we are looking for is the students to be able to observe and see and discover relationships between the different layers. And we're trying to design this in a number of our questions. Many times we will ask them something to speculate, and then we'll have them do something to check the answer and ask them how close they came and some of the things. So a lot of that is designed to reduce the kids' fear of doing speculation. We have developed a culture that we are finding in the schools that the kids are so focused and panicked of getting the right answer that they don't really look to speculate and use their creativity and imagination. One of the things you will find with our subscription service is that our lessons, we are always in constant development. And we appreciate very much having the teachers at our schools involved in that process. If you've got ideas of when you are using a lesson with a map of having different things that you would like to see added as a layer, let us know. We would take a look and see what we can do as far as that. We're always expanding our lesson topics. So again, if there's a topic that you feel would work very well within a story map, again, let us know. And in both cases, there is the potential opportunity to have your students involved in this process, that they could help as far as doing the data acquisition for creating the layers. Having your students involved as far as in that acquisition in developing layers may give them added motivation and skills in the research process. Particularly, it's not just an assignment, it's something that's going to be used in a real-world application. Also, there is always a need for us to be in constant development, because anything dealing with technology today is we are in an era of constant and rapidly technological change. So again, we have to many times have to work to continue making changes to keep up with the changes in technology and the way that the ArcGIS Online interface works. In general, we consider our subscription service not to be a one-way thing that we're providing you guys with stuff. We look at it as a partnership. Those of you who have worked with our network know that our network is built as being, as far as the actual teachers and administrators and folks who are working with the kids. So it's not a complete top-down. When your school, as far as doing a subscription, we consider you guys just as much as part of the network as those who have been with us for many years. So I hope that this really works for you, and we look forward to that partnership.